All right, we don't have everybody yet, but we're going to get started. As you can see, we are recording. So everything we do and talk about today is going to be recorded. We'll put it up on my Facebook page, on my YouTube site, so that you can review this afterwards. There will be a test. No. But this is just to give, this is a conversation. Conversation about, I thought about how do I want to start this, and I thought about starting it with, Isaac Newton's laws of, physics and golf. And
we're all old.
So, what you can't hear? Talk up a little. Really? Do I need to talk up a little bit more? Okay. So, so I thought about, the idea of F equals force equals mass times acceleration and things of that nature, and energy equals 1/2 mass times velocity squared. And, everybody talks about how do we get more speed? How do we get more velocity? You think about DeChambeau and the fact that now he's swinging 200 mile an hour swing, this ball speeds, and it's just phenomenal. And so a colleague of ours, he said, swing harder. Okay? That's the solution. You guys can all leave. Just swing harder. Well, that's unfortunately not completely true. There is some truth to that, but it's not really true. Harder is, what we want to do is we want to swing faster, okay? And there's multiple ways to swing faster. You've seen me in my bag. I have one of these things. This is an orange whip. You can also see their skills. It's heavy. It's designed to give you weight, to build up strength, and to work on tempo. But it's not designed to increase your speed and acceleration. It's designed to give you more. Okay, you can hear that. Swoosh, you got that tempo. Very nice. It'll help strengthen you. Okay? We need strength. Why do you think there's a weight room? When on both tours, on all tours as a matter of fact, they have a weight room where everybody works out every day because they're trying to build up strength. Strength equals acceleration. Okay? So you have tools. Okay? Ian's been using this one. This one is another one heavy. You can, Mrs. Getchell has one of these. Okay? Again, it's heavy, but this is not designed to increase acceleration. This is designed to teach the proper release, the proper grip, the correct release. Okay? The whip is not designed to work on the grip or the release. It's designed to work on the tempo. So teachers have aids that try to help you get better at what you do. So you need to get the right aid, okay? So what we decided was, looking at about 700 tour players, everybody started talking about SuperStick, the SuperSpeed stick, okay? Has anybody ever heard of overspeed training? Overspeed training. Anybody know what that is? You know what that is? What's overspeed training to you?
Well, you're starting with lighter weights, you're working to a heavier weight, and you're building up momentum, building up speed and the strength to be able to go through. And you want to go beyond what you would normally do in your regular swing.
Okay. So is everybody kind of hearing what she's saying? What we're trying to think about in overspeed training is that world-class sprinters use it. You think, how do you overspeed train a sprinter? Well, you run downhill. You run uphill to get more strength. You run downhill to get more speed. Why? Because more downhill, your body is going to run and your neural network is going to start building up and wanting to go faster. Okay? So it's a way that javelin throwers throw a lighter javelin. Okay? Shot putters throw a lighter shot put. The idea is to create faster speed. So what we decided, Scott and I and Arlene, we talked about bringing in a SuperSpeed stick in order to try to help you, the membership, accelerate, get a better acceleration of speed. Now, when you think about it again, Mike talks about harder. Well, the same swing speed, let's say 75 miles an hour, dependent upon the correct kinematic sequence, the correct launch angle, could be 25 yards different with the exact same speed. Okay? So it's not just about swinging harder. Okay? It's about putting things in sequence. Okay? So one of the things when Ian and I started working together, his kinematic sequence was way off. He started using a lot of the torso in order to swing because he thought that was the correct power mechanism was this, as opposed to the correct sequence is your feet, your knees, your hips, then your arms, and then your shoulders. So what the SuperSpeed allows us to do, and you can review the videos on YouTube, and you can actually see a PGA class where they brought in, I mean, I just had one of the participants who had a very good swing, but the kinematic sequence was off because they didn't understand how to move their body. Well, I handed this off to Ian the other day, and I said, just swing this. This is the lightest club that we've got. It's about 30% lighter than a driver, okay? And the idea is to swing it, okay? The body will move. And what Arlene and I are going to do, hopefully we started on the 17th of this month, is start a clinic, a 6-week clinic, where tests have shown that SuperSpeed can increase our speeds anywhere from 6 to 12%. So let's just take that 75 or 80 mile per hour number, which some of the men are in and some of the ladies are in the 70 to 75 mile an hour swing speed. And if we can increase that 6%, we've gained at least 15 yards. Okay? We haven't bought new equipment. We've gained it because we're starting to learn how to correctly kinetically swing a golf club and work our body correctly. Okay? And it's done through training of the arms and being able to swing this golf club. So what we think about when we're trying to do this is when we have the drills, and Katie will, I'm going to have Katie walk through some of these, is that the idea is that, as Dee said, we start with something that's very light, and you all have, you can all, feel this and say, see how light this is. That's a super light one. Then as time goes, as what you're going to do, we have protocols. There are protocols like in anything else that we try to work our protocols in order to get you to learn over a 6-week process. So after you swing a little bit of this, then we're going to go to a club that's going to be a little bit heavier. Now this one is about 20% lighter than a driver. So it's like Dee said, we're trying to swing a club that is going to be, now you're going to feel maybe a little bit difference in the weight, but you're not going to feel a lot. But this is 30% lighter than the normal men's normal driver, okay? So we're trying to work on how fast can we swing that club. Ideally, 20 to 30% faster than what we are swinging the other club, okay? What we swing our driver at, okay? Then we swing the lighter one, and then for ladies, the heaviest one we're going to get into is what's called the medium shaft, okay? It's going to be about 5% heavier than your normal shaft, okay? So, and the red one, so you can see it's going to be a little bit slower, but you're still going to be able to accelerate, pivot, swing the club faster than you normally with a driver. And then the idea is that we do this right-handed, and then we're going to do this left-handed. Now everybody will ask me, why do I swing left-handed? Well, the correct kinematic sequence is to be able to move our hips, right? If our hips move correctly this way on this swing, well, our hips have to move this way. So when we swing left-handed, okay, you see my hips right here go up and turn, very similar to a golf swing in the other way. So we have to get these hips moving correctly both directions. Then we do that both sides, okay? And then we take that and we break that down and we do another one that's called a baseball drill. And I'm going to have Katie demonstrate the baseball drill. Now what we're trying to do here is really work on the kinematic sequence. And what we're trying to do is we're going to step. We're going to start with our feet together, kind of like a baseball player. And then she's going to step and she's going to swing. She's going to step and swing. All right? Again, correctly done, the correct sequence of a golf swing is feet, knees, hips, arms, and then shoulders. Okay? At no point in time does she start swinging her arms first and then stepping. Okay? It doesn't work that way. If you do that, ball's not going anywhere. You're probably going to hit the ball way to the right because your sequence is off. All right? So can you do that? Can you swing and then step? Okay. All right. You notice how when you do that, how everything's slowed down for her because we don't have that sequence correctly done. And because the sequence isn't done correctly, how do you expect to hit the ball further? Okay. So speed stick is going to help us not only with the idea of learning over speed acceleration or changing the neuron network in our body to allow us to swing faster, but it'll help us with our sequence. Again, I can only use Ian because Ian's the only one I've had here that I've actually put through some of the protocols. And he did it for just a short period of time. He went out the next day. He says he hadn't hit the ball further than he's ever done before because all of a sudden his swinging is done correctly. He's in a correct sequence where now the club is the feet or body's going and then the arms go, as opposed to trying to feel the club swinging like this. Okay, there's no kinematic sequence that's correct there. Okay. So today was just an introduction of what we're trying to do with the SuperSpeed, and then Arlene is going to, if she wants to, talk about we've got a clinic that we're going to try, that we're going to see if, we've had people have already talked about getting this, okay? 6-week process, about a full set of 3 clubs. For men, it's going to be green, blue, and red. For ladies, it's going to be yellow, green, and blue. And it's just designed for the correct speed that you all swing at. All right. So the thought is that if I told everybody we're going to have this clinic, you're going to go, what the heck is a SuperSpeed clinic? And nobody's going to know what a SuperSpeed stick is, and nobody's going to know the philosophy behind it, or anything like that. So I thought we'd get people together and at least introduce the subject. So when you see the flyer that comes out that says, we're going to have this clinic, and if you want to participate, the 6-week clinic with your own speed sticks, because this isn't a one-time deal. Ask Ian, when he did this for 5 minutes, 4 minutes, he was tired. All right? This is going to wear you out. Swing in this club, each one 3 times, and then I'm going to be sitting here, swing harder, swing faster, because there's going to be a radar that's going to be sitting right there, and it's going to have to go, okay, I'm going to look at it and say, that was 120 miles an hour. Now I need 121. Well, that's 121. All right, that was pretty close to 121. Now I want it faster than that. All of a sudden, you can hear my breathing. It's already getting labored, all right? Because now I want it faster than that. All right, that's about as hard as I can swing this. 121 and a half, thank you. She had that radar, I appreciate that. But regardless of what we're trying to do, we always have our flight scopes and things of that nature. And we want to know how fast, because we want that gain. If I can get you from 80 to 85, correct kinematic sequence, 15 plus yards, maybe even more, because if you were doing it incorrectly the first time, as I said, there's probably a 25-yard difference between a 5-degree negative angle versus a 5-degree positive angle versus the correct shaft versus all kinds of other factors. Same swing speed, 25 yards difference, simply because your sequence is off. Now I'm not only going to improve your sequence, I'm going to improve your flight conditions, and now we can try to get ourselves 15 to 20 plus yards if you do the work. And the work is, one day you have a clinic, skip a day, and you do all yourself. The 3rd day, skip a day. 5th day, you do it all yourself again. You come back the next week, and you do it with Arlene or myself or Katie. We do the same clinic all over again for about 30 minutes. Make sure you're doing it right. We're going to do a check with you. How fast are you going? So each week you're going to be able to see what your baseline is, okay? Because you're not going to have your own radar. We have the radars, or we will have the radars to be able to test you, so that you can see. And then we test you with your club and see how fast you're going. But again, it's not just hard, it's acceleration. Okay, does that make sense? Does everybody kind of have an idea of what the SuperSpeed is all about? Okay, so we have got, or I created flyers for us. The set of sticks, $200, 6-week clinic, $150, $350. Did you think about the idea of how you wanted to do it if the same family has the same set?
Not yet. That's something that we can figure out.
Something we're talking about is whether or not, like the Greers, do they need 2 sets or 1 set? Because both of you swing pretty much this kind of the same speed, if you will. You may be able to get away with 1 set. Other people may not be able to get away with 1 set. I'm not sure, not picking on Gene, but Joe, I don't know if Gene's going to be able to swing the same set of clubs that you swing and be able to get that speed benefit. So there may be something in there to put another club in there, which increases the cost a little bit, but we can work on those kind of details. But the idea is we need about a 10-day window if we're going to do it the 17th in order to get you your clubs so that I have them on the 17th. Now everybody knows I'm leaving. The 28th or 28th is my last day. So Arlene wants to do a clinic before I leave. And I've got Symmetric Tour next weekend, and then 2 weeks from now I've got Symmetric Tour with my professionals. So that's the week, is the 17th. That's why we're meeting today, is because if you want to get involved in this, you all need to make decisions. If you want to get involved, then we can order your sticks. Then we meet. Then you kind of go off, and then you've got Katie and Arlene to handle you through the summer and continuing your progress through phase 2, protocol 2, and protocol 3 for speed stick. And there's all kinds of new drills that are really exciting to be able to create more speed, more kinematic sequencing, better, more efficiently. Things like swinging on your knees, things of that nature. It's kind of interesting to be able to try to create a swing from your knees. You've probably seen people do that on shows and stuff. You're going to hit the ball a long way from your knees if you understand how to move your body. And that's what SuperSpeed sticks are designed to do. All right?
And to me, that's one of the biggest things with this. Distance is always great, okay? Don't get me wrong. But distance isn't necessarily going to make you score or play better golf. But any of you who have had lessons with me understand that I focus a lot on how your bodies move. This will allow you to effectively use your bodies better. So to me, this is one of the biggest things with this program, is learning how to make your bodies move better. If your bodies move effectively and better, and you're creating more speed, you're going to get better results. That's the big thing for me, is getting your bodies to move in a proper sequence. If that happens, a lot of good things can happen after that.
Anybody got questions? Yes, Charlene.
So, are you saying everybody will benefit from this if they follow the program?
Should.
Okay.
I mean,
What if there's a golfer here who hits or her maximum capacity? Is there a maximum capacity?
I bet Bryson thought you were asking for it.
Well,
Yeah, but
I guess
that's different. Yeah.
The question is that can you? I would say yes. I mean, I would take my stepmom for example. All right, and what she used to swing a golf club. Every single club in her bag. And every club in her bag went the exact same distance. Didn't matter whether it was a driver, didn't matter if it was an iron. They all went the same because why? Swing speed's the same, all right? So I had her take the club and I had her turn it upside down one day. And I said, and Ian and some of you who have been with me, probably Arlene has done this and Katie's done this, we take the club and we turn it upside down and all of a sudden we got a SuperSpeed stick in our hands almost, because now we're swinging with no weight. swinging a club that's got a lot more velocity. Once she started swinging that, it was like, oh, a light bulb went off in her head, and it was like, oh, so I'm supposed to swing like that. The answer is yes. Even today, Ian was practicing on the range, and it was not swinging like that. So what do? We said, turn it over, swing the club. Swing the club like you mean it. Set it back here and swing it.
So why can't we accomplish the same thing as we do with the...
You can, mainly because of the weight though. The weight, the biggest difference is there's no weight on this. So again, when we're done, you can swing those clubs and you can do this, but you're not gonna get tired. You're not gonna get that building up of your neural networks. But one way you can do it on the golf course is do this, and this is not a training aid. So when I'm on the course and I'm out of sequence, and you can watch the guys on TV and you'll see them do the same thing. They'll turn the golf club upside down and they'll swing like this to get them back into the correct sequence. But yes, in a way you can. I'm not going to say you can't, but there's a difference between this where there's no weight versus something that's 30% lighter, 20% for a man, 12% and 5% heavier. Now you've got some weight that you're trying to now swing this weight and give me that same speed, okay? So as a coach, we're trying to continually drive you to faster and faster and faster speeds. And the more we drive you to faster and faster speeds, the more your body is going to react to faster and faster speeds. And then it's going to go, oh, that's what I want to do, is have the strength and the power to be able to accelerate that thing. And then with this weight on it, have it swing at 100, and for me it's only 105, but it's not 135 or whatever DeChambeau's doing, 140 miles an hour. But, you know, even if it's only 80, you know, 80 miles an hour, give me 5% more, you know, gets me about 85. All of a sudden now I've got, you know, 235 yards as opposed to 220, and I think anybody would like that extra 15 yards. Now, if we can build you up to even take it from 80 to 90, which is why Scott got this, because Scott's looking at it. When I brought him out here, he was at 86. And he goes, man, I shouldn't be swinging at 86, but his body is not moving correctly. So he's now on training for this. We're going to see if we can get him up into the low 90s, which is, again, going to get him out there so he can actually hit the ball further, straighter, more efficiently, and things of that nature.
So you commit to once a week for 6 weeks?
Once a week for 6 weeks. Okay? Yeah. I mean, and now, part of that, you know, is we're going to teach you, you know, and the front end of this program is the one I do hate to share with y'all, because it involves stretching. It involves warming up. I mean, I would say how many of us just come out and go to the first tee and really don't stretch a whole lot? Well, when you're starting to max out your swing on this thing without stretching and warming up your body, you could hurt yourself. So we're going to put you through some basic, easy drills, easy, you know, stretches to kind of get your body warmed up. Little things like, you know, can you bend over, you know?
Yeah, I can't get back up.
But then you go down to a certain spot, you know, and you're trying to do these stretches and things of that nature. If you heard that, you heard my back crack a few times there, because that's the first time I did that today. But we do that every day, right? We need to do that if we're going to try to hit a golf ball and try to hit it 105 or 110 miles an hour, which I try to do. Okay? So now we've got some flyers up here.
If you go back in time to Jack Nicklaus era, Johnny Miller, all those guys, fitness and golf were not in the same sentence. Okay? It just didn't happen. But now, fitness is a huge component to golf. All right? That's why all these guys are hitting it further. They're stronger. Equipment and golf balls obviously have developed over the years as well, compared to when Jack Nicklaus and them were in their peak. But fitness plays a huge component now in golf. So, and that doesn't mean you got to be in the gym every day, but you do have to have some level of flexibility and fitness. You're only going to be able to swing the golf club the way your body will allow you to do. All right? So if you've got a neck issue, if you've got a back issue or something like that, your body is only going to allow you to swing that golf club a certain way. Now, can we increase our flexibility? Can we increase our range of motion? Absolutely, unless you've got an impingement of some sort, a bad shoulder, a neck issue, whatever. But you can increase and improve where you are, which will allow you, first off, longevity in the game, not to have aches and pains every day that we play, but you have to be in tune to what your body's telling you. So physical fitness and stretching, core strength is one of the biggest things in golf. The stronger your core is, the better your back is, the better your posture is, okay? All of those things play a component to having a better golf swing and allowing your body to move more effectively.
Questions, anybody else? Yes, sir.
I played ball a long time ago, and I know we still see on TV when they're warming up, they put donuts on the bat, which makes the bat longer or heavier, swinging that, so then when they take the donut off, they go faster.
Yep.
Right.
This seems to be counterintuitive to that.
It is, and there's actually a research article that I read that talks about donuts are good for that moment, but they use lighter, better, faster bats in order to get ready, and then when they're out there, they need to have that little bit of extra. So you can still swing a heavier club before you go out, and that does, then everything kind of feels lighter, but their bodies are already tuned to swinging that bat as efficiently and as fast as they possibly can. They're not, they don't just walk out and they just don't swing the bat as hard as they can, because their bodies would react to that. They would need the time in the gym to take the bat and be able to set, again, the same sequence that we do in golf, we do in baseball. We feet, knees, hips, arms, boom, and then everything else rotates. So they're very similar. So if I can make that bat feel a little bit lighter, then I'm going to get a little bit more whip through it. But they're not doing the whipping while they're getting in the batter, when they're in the on-deck circle. They've already done that to get their bodies reacted faster to be able to handle things as fast and efficiently as they possibly can. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
So, am I hearing this correctly? The correct sequence to beginning your golf swing is a step. Step.
It's always a step. Boom, 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 boom. Because if I swing like this, what's the strongest muscle in your body? Your rear end, right? Okay? So if you're swinging like this, have you engaged anything in your rear end? Have you engaged Mother Earth?
Power comes from the ground up,
Right.
not from the top down.
So we need to use this source. And that's why there's a stop. They talk about when you get think about Mr. Nicholas. He got up here on his left toe. What's the first thing he did?
Planted.
He slammed his heel into the ground. Boom, 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 and then swing the club, and everything else worked from that. You didn't see him left up and then swing the club, and then, oh, by the way, in the middle of the swing, I'm going to step on my foot. That's not the correct sequence. So, that's the correct sequence. Up, step, boom, boom, swing, rotate. And again, when you swing this, I guarantee you, when you swing that the first time, it will help your body do that. So when you're all done, when we're talking and any more questions, come up and swing some of these things. But when you do that, we're going to say, I want you to go away from here and swing down range, because I don't want anybody swinging at anybody, okay? So we don't do that. We make sure that when Katie was swinging, she was swinging that way, okay? We don't want to be swinging at people, so it's safety first, okay? Yes, Mr. Saunders.
A couple questions I got is obviously this is going to help your speed.
Yes.
Will the 6-week clinic help with the other things like finding your comfortable release, getting a comfort level? So I guess I'm looking for more than just speed. I'm looking for, a gradual improvement, something I can count on. Yeah. And then I'll follow up.
You're in charge of the clinic.
I think you have to ask yourself the question. I'm going to be quite frank. You have to ask yourself the question. Do you want to get more yardage? All right. If you want to get more yardage, then this is obviously something you can consider. Any of you who have had lessons from me, I've never stressed distance. I've stressed functionality of your body, okay, and making your swing work to its fullest potential for you. All right. Can we reach a ceiling? Yeah, I think we can. All right.
I'm just looking for
Yep.
consistency.
Yeah.
You know, I hit 2 bad drives in a row, and I'm trying a different swing.
Right. And so this may not necessarily be exactly that, Jim. Okay. Yep.
Well, the other follow-up on the Greer question, yeah, if we don't see improvement, we get our money back.
Well, you're still going to get your speed sticks, but I think I really do think if you put the work in, you will see improvement. 'Cause
Well, I mean,
your body's gonna work.
Ian, give us your opinion on what you've done with it so far.
And that was just for one day, and we did it for 10 minutes. But again, the idea was with Ian, I teach speed, all right?
See, that's where Russ and I differ.
I-
I don't teach speed.
I wish when I was 10 years old and I came out to play golf, that somebody talked to me about swinging hard, swinging fast, okay? Because when I turned 48 and I got ready for the Champions Tour, and I was getting outdriven by 30 or 40 yards, yeah, I was like, oh no, this is not right. And I looked at their swings, and I looked at my swing. I had this beautiful here, boom, and it was just going there. Oh, that's really pretty. And the next guy gets up there, boom, and I'm like, holy Toledo, where the heck did that come from? The game of golf has changed, and now speed dominates.
Is that off the tee though, Russ?
Everywhere. Everywhere. Haley, many of you seen Haley with me, one of my Symmetric Tour players. I brought her on into my team years ago because she could swing a golf club. The problem was we weren't efficient swinging the golf club. We were having to descend an angle to start with, and the clubs weren't right. So now we've got the correct club. This last event, average distance off the tee was 285. 306 was the furthest drive that she hit this last week. Okay? Well, Haley is this big. Okay? Y'all have seen her. She's not a big lady. She swings the golf club because we swing the golf club. The idea is to swing it. If I can go from 255, which is what we were at, 3 clubs less, you're going into a green between a wedge versus a 7-iron. I think that's a whole heck of a lot of a difference in the game. Okay, because I know for my yardage closest to the pin at 70, at a 7-iron versus a wedge, it was 20 feet difference between the two of them. Okay, yes, D.
I know what Jim is referring to, and for those that want a better answer to the question or whatever, is that I can get up and swing that just like your stepmother does. So the issue is that that is not going to improve the swing as its main function. Its main function is your swing will get faster with those sticks, because I've seen Jim play golf. Jim hits some great shots out there.
Yep.
But he sets up with a lot of compensations at the ball to get the good shots that he has. That is not going to improve his swing.
Okay.
And if you really want to, you got to work on your swing. And it takes help to work on your swing. You're not going to do it yourself. And YouTube videos, you're just 10 years from now, you're still going to be wondering what's wrong with your swing.
Yeah. So then you sign up for packages and you sign up.
And
for
that's
that
what
kind
I
of
mean,
clinics.
Jim, when I say it's not the clinic isn't necessarily to work on the functionality of your swing. I mean, obviously, obviously, I know how you swing. All right, you do make compensations, but it works for you. Okay, so every golf swing is unique to the person.
But again, if you want 5 to 12% improvement in your velocity of your golf swing,
With your swing.
okay, then we can improve the speed, and then at the same time work on some of the other
Yeah.
things. I know that I'm already seeing that improvement with Ian, and we've only been together for a couple of weeks. So I don't have any other examples because none of y'all have, I'm not teaching any of y'all except him. Charlie?
Okay, so let's talk about the difference between being too fast.
Okay.
And what I think you know what I mean by that already.
Yeah, I do.
And you're fast. I mean, I think I know what it is, but I'm consciously trying to slow my swing down. And I don't know whether I'm actually doing that, but it feels like it. So, I mean,
See, I've only seen, I don't know your swing, and so I could talk to her, Arlie, but I know, for me, I would be taking and teaching you to swing as efficient and as hard as we possibly can, and stay in balance. So if you notice when I'm swinging, even when I'm swinging the lightest club, I'm swinging at 130 miles an hour, 120 miles an hour. I'm in perfect balance.
But your sequence was
My sequence is perfectly, everything is right.
I think that's the key. It's the sequencing, okay? Yep.
So if I can get you to swing faster, correctly sequenced, and then, we can say, we swing, tour players would say we swing at about 80 to 85%, 75% of our capacity. So that would be, instead of that, it would be like this. That's about 80% of that swing. Again, sequence is correct, body is correct, everything's correct. But I'm going to do that far better. I'm going to have better results by doing that. But if I need to hit that par 5, I have the ability, Mr. Pellick, to swing the club as fast and as efficiently as I can to get that tin cup moment over the onto the green.
I think each of you have to ask yourself the question, what are my goals? What am I trying to achieve when I'm playing? Do I want to see myself hit it further? I think that's one of the big questions you have to ask yourself, okay? Do we all want to hit it further? Absolutely, all right? But is that your ultimate goal? Is that something that's at the top of your list to enter this program? Because there's homework involved with this.
There is homework.
You've got to do the homework, all right? Coming to the clinic on its own is not going to do it. You've got to take each of the steps, follow the protocols, and do the homework, all right, to get to that end result.
And that takes, typical protocol, 10 minutes of your day. You're going to take 3 swings with each of the 3 clubs. Okay, take that, 3 swings that way, 3 swings left, 3 swings with a step, 3 swings with a step with the next one, go up a club, you're done. Okay, that's the protocol. Okay, now there's more level 2 and things of that nature, but for right now we're just talking about getting you engaged to the point of letting you know why did we bring these things in. It's because Scott wants more distance, I want more distance. We don't like getting it outdriven by Mike Owens all the time. So, there's motivation there, so that, it's part of our motivation as well, is to be able to get, hit the ball further. And again, I tell you this, I wish when I was 10, I had a 14-year-old that was hitting it at about 285. And I said, Mitchell, not good enough. Hit the ball, swing the club. We got him up to about 307, 308 yards. Now once I get that, now I can take him from a spread like this and bring him to a spread like this. But I can't teach you distance. I can get you, I need him to start learning how to swing the bloody club. Then I can teach him how to control, which goes back to you. 80% swing, 70% swing, control the ball. Do what you want to do, but darn it, hit the ball. Okay? That's every day. We talk about that. Even the ladies now. I'm putting Haley in the top 10 on the LPGA right now in distance. That's what we're trying to do, is get her to hit the ball and hit the ball hard. Because if I can get her into that and get her in with her short game, start learning how to knock down those wedges, she could be a dominating force. But it's all about hitting the ball and hitting the ball hard. That's what the SuperSpeed is designed to help you with.
Did it improve yours?
My game? Yes. Yeah, I went from 95 to now up about 104. On a normal day, I'm at 99 to 100. but then I get loosened up and things of that nature, and I have swung at 104. I'm not up to where I used to be. I'm 63, so I'm not going to get there with a bad back. But it's certainly helping my game. Yeah, it's helping me swing the club better. Because again, I mean, you see the swing. And again, it's just the kinematic sequence. It's just being able to take this, set the thing and swing the club. Do that. You're happy to help yourself to swing these clubs. And then make the decision. I've got flyers. Then we need to decide, soon in the next couple of days, if you want to, say yes, no, or whatever. And then Arlene, we can get these ordered, because if we're going to have a clinic on the 17th, I need them ordered and in your hands so that we can have that, we can be giving them to you on the 17th, okay?
So just send me an email if you're interested, and then we can sort of go from there. Thanks for coming out, guys.